We welcome you back to the United States USSR McDonald's Challenge in San Jose. Tim Brando along with Bart Connor, and at the end of 2 rotations, the Soviets have the leaders, Sherbo and Belinky. Right now, let's get down to the floor and Kevin Cusick.
Thank you, Tim. We saw Belinky get a 10 in that last rotation. The first person ever to get a 10 in gymnastics at the 76 game was Nadia Comaneci. Nadia, thank you for being with us. You went on to score 7 10s at that Olympics. Do you think today that a 10 is more commonplace than it should be in gymnastics?
So it's very hard to get a 10, but if you have a perfect routine, the judge can give you a perfect 10.
Okay. You decided to relocate this year in North America. What are you up to in the next couple months? I understand you have a show coming up.
Yes, I prepared a show, ice skating gymnastics show with Bart Connor and Katrina Witt and Boitano. This will be taped in Colorado at the end of September.
Okay, Nadia, thanks for being with us. Timmy, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin, and it's always interesting to catch up with the Queen of Tens, Nadia Comaneci, and I know that, Bart, you're looking forward to that event that she alluded to just moments ago. Well, we're moving now to, I think, a telling part of the competition in this, the third rotation, the vault and the rings. And, Bart, don't you think that if the Americans have a lot of room for improvement in any area, it would be in these 2 particular pieces of apparatus?
It seems that the Soviets, it's not just the Americans, but certainly every team in the world loses a little ground to the Soviets on vaulting and rings. And certainly the Americans need to improve in upper body strength so they have more control on rings, and they need more explosive vaulting. We've seen the Soviets all try the handspring double front. They've actually had a little trouble today in the competition, but there's no question that they're the premier team in the world on vault as well as rings.
Scott Keswick, who has already had his share of problems, after 2 rotations, will try to get rid of the problem. That's his coach, Yefim Furman out of UCLA, that hoists him up to the rings.
Maybe Scotty can put together a good routine here. He's the former national champion on still rings. He's very strong. There's a lot of difficulty in a very big dismount, a double twisting double. Giant swing. This is an inverted iron cross, good position, and a front giant. There's that double front within the rings. It's called a Yamawaki, invented by the Japanese gymnast. Here comes the dismount. A double twisting double, clean landing.
Pretty good comeback for Keswick on rings.
That double-double is a very difficult dismount. He did it easily. I wasn't sure he was going to do it because he was a little off in the handstand prior to bailing for the dismount, and the gymnasts always reserve the right to change the routine midstream. There's no requirement necessarily that they have to perform the routine that they set out to do, but Scott's determination and his strength work as well as his dismount, very impressive. See, he was swinging a little bit, but he cranked 2 flips and 2 twists and finished it easily. That's a tough dismount.
Always a pleasure.
One thing to remember about Keswick is that his intensity can carry over from a team standpoint if he performs well and keep them in the running here. And on still rings, an area where the Americans have had their share of problems, that score, which is a 9.775, can really help out.
Good, strong performance for Scott Keswick.
Igor Korobchinsky. And remember, on the vault where the men are concerned, it's only 1 vault, unlike the women where they get 2 opportunities at the vault, and the best score is what counts. Here's Korobchinsky.
He's one of 3 Soviets that are doing the triple front handspring double front flip. Let's see if he can make it. The other 2 haven't. Oh! A little bit low on that landing, but that's a lot of trick to pull in before you actually meet the floor.
Bart, would it be fair to say that they can take these chances and these risks because of the dual competition format?
That's a very good point. There's not a lot to lose in this competition. We've seen him perform this in the World Championships and nail it. He was just a little short of rotation there, and you can see that they're using an extra pad on because in a competition like this, they take some leniency with the rules because nobody wants to get hurt, and they allow the gymnast to have a little extra padding because they want to try the big tricks.
He's having a good time. That's the thing that you notice more about the Soviets now as opposed to in past years. They seem to smile and enjoy themselves a great deal more. The spirit of Glasnost in the 90s. Now Cheney Humphrey on the still rings.
Look at the power in that mount.
Well, you made mention of those big guns. They really help.
They come in handy on the rings. This is a great event for Cheney. 2 iron cross movements in the early part of the routine and strong swing work. It's a little sloppy in the handstand. The judges would like to see a little cleaner line in the handstand, but you can't dismount better than that.
The people in San Jose appreciate it.
Look at the power on that back roll to iron cross. Perfect level position. He rolls forward now and pulls to another iron cross.
Take that, body by Jake.
The dismount is a full twisting double back, full in, and then a pike on the second one. Rocks the landing.
Keswick and Humphrey have really helped perhaps bail out the United States in this particular piece of apparatus. A 9.975 and a 9.875 for Cheney Humphrey. That will certainly help them in their cause, with the Soviets having some difficulty with their dismounts off the vault. And here is Vitaly Sherbo, our leader after 2 rotations.
Sherbo does a double twisting Yurchenko. He got a 10 on this at the Goodwill game.
Yes!
Wow. You know, that style of vaulting was invented by Natalia Yurchenko from the Soviet women's team about 8 years ago. It was only allowed in the last couple of years in men's gymnastics. Only a few men do it. Very few do it with double twists, as he showed here. Round off onto the board, back handspring onto the horse, backflip with 2 twists, and only a slight hop on the landing. He's in good position in the air, straight to the horse, clean line. Boy, that's tough.
Right now, he is clearly, after 3 rotations, the leader in the all-around competition. And from a team standpoint, he definitely helped because his compadres had difficulty there on the vault prior to his maneuver. A 9.9 for Vitaly Sherbo. The calm and serene look of a man going about his business at only 18 years of age. The beat goes on in the Soviet Union. We'll return to San Jose after this. McDonald's United States Soviet Union challenge continues. Tim Brando along with Bart Connor. Kevin Cusick down on the floor handling our interviewing chores. And this is Igor Korobchinsky, who is in 4th after 3 rotations in the all-around.
He opened up with a beautiful sequence of strength moves. And another one, iron cross. Dislocate to a shoot to a handstand. Wow, look at that dismount. So easily done. The dismount was a laid out double backflip with a full twist in the second flip. He had all the requirements, the strength, the press to a handstand, the swing to a handstand. These are requirements. And then a very big dismount, laid out double back with a full in the second flip.
Rather effortless.
Yeah, it seems so easy.
I'd say he's back in form, wouldn't you? From his 89 World Championship form, and again, an alternate on the Goodwill team. I find that so amazing, but that really is one of the differences between the Soviets and the United States, isn't it? That they would let one of their top competitors sit out in an international competition.
Well, and certainly to give some of the younger gymnasts an opportunity.
Jared Hanks now on the vault, in 5th in the all-around.
Good vault for Jared. That's a very complex vault. It's one of the best I've seen Jared do.
He's becoming quite a story.
But we knew right at the top of the show that Jared had it in him, but he has had a tendency to go flying all over the gym in some meets. He did a great vault here. This is a move called a kasamatsu, and he adds an extra half twist. It's tough to land that square and in line with the horse, as he did. We saw Jared at the Olympic Festival in the summer, and he was doing beautifully until the last rotation, then went flying off the high bar and bounced himself out of contention. It'd be great for the U.S. if he could put together a complete all-around performance today, all 6 events.
Vitaly Sherbo in 1st in the all-around after 3 rotations.
This guy's just a rock, and what's so amazing about it is just at 18 years old, he's so comfortable. I remember when I was 18, I was freaking out. It's a move called a kip to an L, press to a handstand. It's a planche and a cross. Here's his new move. What a terrific angle to see what's going on in a move that will eventually be named a Cherbow. Great dismount.
Only 18, and he'll soon have his own move. What is that, a smile coming from Vitali? He began to grin a bit there.
The score on home for Jared Hicks is 9.80.
There's a giant to a handstand, perfect lockout arm position. Giant over the top, and a very clean, good form, laid out double back with a full twist. That move he did earlier in the routine looks a little bit like a puppet swinging from strings, and it's hard. I've seen other gymnasts try that move, but very few have the same kind of control.
A 9.90 for Cherbow. We will be back with much more of this, the fourth rotation, as the United States-Soviet Union challenge match continues in San Jose. You stay right where you are.
So she got him in the gymnastics.